Reprogram your mind. 8 proven roles to destroy negative thoughts and transform your life. Introduction. Your mind can be rewritten. Your mind is not a fixed object. It is not a stone, a wall, or a cage. Your mind is more like soft clay. It can be shaped, changed, and redesigned. Every thought leaves a mark. Every belief builds a layer. And every day, you have the power to shape that clay again. But here's the problem. Most people never take control of their minds. They let negative thoughts lead the way. They let fear speak louder than logic. They let doubt grow stronger than dreams. You do not have to live like that. You can reprogram your mind. You can teach it strength. You can train it to focus on what lifts you up, not what pulls you down. You can destroy negative thinking, not by fighting it endlessly, but by replacing it with something stronger. In this guide, you will learn 8 proven rules to transform your mind from the inside out. You will learn how to take back control, how to rebuild confidence, and how to step into a more powerful version of yourself. This is not theory. This is practice. This is real change. Let's begin. Rule 1. Control your inner voice before it controls you. Inside your head, there's a voice. Sometimes it's calm, sometimes it's loud. Sometimes it supports you, but many times it criticizes, doubts, and questions everything you do. This voice is not your enemy. It is simply untrained. Like a wild horse, it runs where it wants. Like a storm, it appears without warning. And unless you learn how to guide it, it will pull you into fear, worry, and negativity. Your inner voice is shaped by the past. Maybe someone told you that you are not good enough. Maybe you made a mistake years ago and still feel guilty. Maybe you grew up in an environment where people focused on problems, not solutions. Your voice learned all of that. It repeats what it learned. But here is the truth. Your inner voice can learn new things. How to take control. Listen to your voice without fear. Do not run from it. Just observe. Question every negative thought. Ask, is this really true? Or is it just old programming? Replace the voice with a stronger message. For example, negative thought, I'm always failing. New programming, I'm still learning. Every step makes me stronger. Speak to yourself as you would speak to a close friend. You would never say, you're useless. So why say it to yourself? Why this works. Your brain believes what it hears most often. If you repeat negative thoughts, your brain accepts them. But if you repeat strong, positive, clear messages, your brain rewires itself. Neural pathways shift. Old beliefs become weak. New beliefs become powerful. Every time you talk to yourself kindly, bravely, and clearly, you are rewiring your mind at the deepest level. This is how transformation begins. Rule 2. Break the loop of negative thinking. Negative thoughts are not random. They come in loops. A loop is a repeated pattern, the same idea, the same fear, the same worry, again and again. For example, what if I fail? What if people judge me? What if I'm not ready? What if something goes wrong? These thoughts do not bring solutions, they bring stress. They create a mental movie where everything ends badly. And worst of all, the more you think about them, the stronger they become. The loop grows when you feed it. Negative thoughts are like small fires. If you feed them, they grow. If you ignore them completely, they spread. So what should you do? You break the loop. Not by fighting the fire, but by removing the oxygen. Technique 1. Name the thought. When a negative thought appears, say one sentence. This is just a negative loop. This simple action separates you from the thought. It gives you power. You become the observer, not the victim. Technique 2. Interrupt the pattern immediately. Do something physical. Stand up. Take a deep breath. Drink water. Stretch. Look outside. This breaks the neural pattern. Your brain stops repeating the loop because you change your physical state. Technique 3. Replace the loop with a clear direction. Ask yourself, what is one useful action I can take right now? Not tomorrow, not next week, now. Negative thinking is always about the future. Taking action brings you back to the present moment, where power actually exists. Why this works? Your brain cannot think negatively and take useful action at the same time. Action kills the loop. Presence kills the loop. Clarity kills the loop. Once you understand this, you stop being a prisoner of your thoughts. You become the one who leads. Rule 3. Protect your energy like it is your life force. Your mind cannot grow in a toxic environment. You cannot stay positive when everything around you pulls you down. You cannot become your best self if you surround yourself with negative people, complaints, drama, fear-based conversations, environments full of stress. Your mind is like a garden. It needs sunlight, fresh air, and good soil. But if you fill that garden with trash, weeds, and noise, nothing good can grow. Energy is real. You feel it when you talk to someone inspiring. Your chest feels lighter, your breathing becomes easier, and your mind becomes clearer. You also feel it when you talk to someone negative. Your shoulders drop, your stomach tenses, your energy disappears. This is not magic. This is emotional physics. How to protect your energy. 1. Reduce your exposure to negative people. You do not need to cut them off completely, but you need boundaries. Limit the time. Limit the conversations. Limit the emotional weight you carry for them. 2. Create a positive environment zone. This can be your room, your desk, your morning routine. Make it clean, simple, calm, inspiring. Your environment shapes your mind. 3. Avoid mental junk food. This includes toxic news, social media drama, clickbait fear, online arguments. These things drain your energy fast without you noticing. 4. Surround yourself with growth. Books, videos, mentors, communities, or even one good friend can change your mindset completely. Why this works? Your mind absorbs what it sees, hears, and feels. If you stay in negativity, you think negatively. If you stay in positivity, you think positively. Protecting your energy is not selfish. It is necessary. You cannot help others if your own mind is drowning. Your peace is your power. Your environment protects that peace. Rule 4. Build mental strength through daily micro-actions. Most people believe mental strength comes from big events, big wins, big challenges, big achievements. But real mental strength comes from something much smaller. Micro-actions. Tiny actions you do every day. Habits that look small but create massive change over time. The same way a drop of water can carve a rock, micro-actions shape your mind. The power of small wins. When you complete a small action, your brain releases dopamine. You feel more capable. Your confidence increases. Your mind becomes more stable. And with every small win, negative thinking loses power. Examples of microactions. Make your bed in the morning. Drink a glass of water after waking up. Write down one positive thought. Do 5 minutes of stretching. Read one page of a book. Clean your desk. Plan your top 3 tasks of the day. These actions look tiny, but they tell your brain, I am in control. And when your brain believes that, negativity weakens. Why small actions matter more than big actions. Big actions require motivation. Small actions require discipline. Motivation is unstable. Discipline is reliable. You cannot rely on motivation forever, but you can rely on simple routines, easy actions, and daily habits. Each microaction becomes a brick. Brick by brick, you build a stronger mind, one that can handle pressure, challenges, and stress. The identity shift. When you perform microactions consistently, something powerful happens. You stop seeing yourself as someone who tries. You start seeing yourself as someone who does. This identity shift is the foundation of mental transformation. It creates a new version of you, a version that negative thinking cannot control easily. Your actions shape your identity shapes your thoughts shape your life. Rule 5. Turn fear into focus. Fear is one of the strongest forms of negative thinking. It stops people from taking action. It freezes dreams. It blocks opportunities. It creates illusions that feel real. But here is the surprising truth. Fear is not a stop sign. Fear is a signal. Fear is information. Fear tells you, this matters. This is new. This could change your life. This step requires courage. Fear is not your enemy. Fear is your compass. Most people run from fear. They avoid challenges. They avoid risks. They avoid change. And because of that, they avoid growth. But the people who transform their minds do one thing differently. They move toward fear, not away from it. They use fear as a guide. They ask, why does this scare me? What opportunity is hidden here? What would happen if I faced this? The fear to focus method. Here is a simple technique to transform fear. Step 1. Identify the fear. Say it out loud. Write it down clearly. Example: I'm afraid of failing. Step 2. Understand the message. Ask, what is this fear trying to tell me? Maybe it means, this goal is important. I care about this. I need to prepare better. Step 3. Turn fear into a plan. Fear says, I might fail. Focus asks, what can I do to reduce the chance of failing? Suddenly, fear becomes fuel. Why this works? Fear is only powerful when it is unclear. When you bring it into the light, it loses its shape. When you turn it into action, it becomes strength. When you release the emotional reaction, you see the lesson behind it. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is the choice to act anyway. Rule 6. Build a mind that focuses on what you can control. One of the biggest sources of negative thinking is this: trying to control what you cannot control. You cannot control other people. You cannot control the past. You cannot fully control the future. You cannot control every outcome. You cannot control every situation. But you can control your choices, your reactions, your attitude, your effort, your habits, your focus. People suffer not because life is hard, but because they waste energy on things that are outside their control. They fight battles they can never win. They replay memories they cannot change. They worry about problems that may never happen. This creates mental chaos. It drains the mind. It destroys confidence. It kills peace. But when you shift your focus to what you can control, everything changes. Why this rule matters? Your mind becomes calm. Your thoughts become clearer. Your decisions become stronger. Your life becomes lighter. This is one of the most powerful forms of mental freedom.
The circle of control. Imagine two circles. Circle 1, the circle of no control. Things like what others think, what others say, what others decide, the past, the future, accidents, delays, the weather, the economy. This circle is full of chaos. And the more time you spend here, the more negativity grows.
Circle 2, the circle of control. This circle is much smaller, but much more powerful. It includes your mindset, your words, your actions, your routines, your focus, your preparation, how you treat people, how you treat yourself. This circle is your kingdom. This is where your true power lives. Training your mind to stay in the right circle. 1. When something goes wrong, repeat one sentence. I choose to focus on what I can control. This brings your mind back to clarity. 2. Ask yourself a simple question. What is the next best action I can take right now? Action destroys anxiety. Action restores power. 3. Stop trying to predict everything. Most negative thinking comes from imagining problems that never happen. Your brain loves to create what-if scenarios. What if I fail? What if they don't like me? What if I make a mistake? What if things go wrong? But you cannot predict the future. You can only prepare for it. Preparation is control. Prediction is illusion. Choose preparation. Why this rule reprograms your mind. When you practice focusing on what you can control, you become calmer. You become more confident. You make better decisions. You take clearer actions. You feel lighter emotionally. You stop giving your power away. You stop drowning in stress. You begin to feel stronger, not because life becomes easier, but because you become wiser. This is the foundation of emotional strength. Rule 7. Use the power of visualization to shape your future. Your brain is a storytelling machine. It constantly creates images, ideas, and mental movies. It imagines outcomes, good or bad. It remembers experiences, painful or beautiful. It makes predictions, hopeful or fearful. Here is the secret. Your mind believes whatever picture you show it. If you show it images of failure, you feel fear. If you show it images of success, you feel motivation. If you imagine the worst, you act small. If you imagine the best, you act strong. This is the power of visualization. one of the most scientifically proven tools to reprogram your mind. Visualization is not fantasy. It is mental training. It is rehearsal. It is preparation. It is practice for the future. Athletes use it. Leaders use it. Performers use it. Entrepreneurs use it. Even surgeons use it. They visualize success before it happens. They build confidence before the real moment arrives. You can use this same power. How visualization works in the brain. Your brain cannot clearly tell the difference between something you imagine and something that actually happens. When you visualize, your brain fires the same neurons. Your body reacts the same way. Your emotions activate. Your confidence grows. Your mind builds new patterns. It is like training your brain for success before reality arrives. Visualization is the mental version of practice makes perfect.
How to visualize the right way. 1. Find a quiet moment. You can sit on your bed, your chair, or even during a walk. The key is stillness. 2. Close your eyes. This shuts down the noise of the outside world. 3. Imagine the best version of the situation. Ask yourself, what do I want? What does success look like? How do I want to feel? Picture it clearly, like a movie. 4. Add emotional energy. Feel the success. Feel the confidence. Feel the relief. Feel the excitement. Feel the pride. Emotion makes the visualization stronger. Emotion tells your brain, this is real. 5. Repeat daily. 5 minutes a day. That's it. This small habit rewires your mind faster than you think. Examples you can use. If you fear failure, visualize yourself winning, improving, or handling challenges calmly. If you fear judgment, visualize yourself speaking clearly and confidently. If you fear change, visualize yourself adapting easily and growing stronger. If you fear new opportunities, visualize yourself stepping into them with courage. Your mind follows the picture you show it, so show it something powerful. Rule 8. Practice gratitude to reset your thought patterns. Gratitude is one of the simplest tools for mental health, but also one of the most powerful. Not because it makes life perfect, not because it removes problems, but because it changes the direction of your focus. Negative thinking focuses on what is missing, what is wrong, what is broken, what is scary, what is unfair. Gratitude shifts your mind to what is working, what is growing, what is possible, what is beautiful, what is enough. This shift is small, but life-changing. Why gratitude works like magic. When you practice gratitude, your brain releases serotonin, the happiness chemical. Your stress levels drop, your mind becomes calmer. You stop overthinking, you sleep better, you feel more grounded in the present, you become more hopeful, you become emotionally stronger. Gratitude does not remove negativity completely, but it gives you the strength to rise above it. The most effective gratitude exercise. Every morning or evening, ask yourself, what are 3 things I can be grateful for today? They do not need to be big. Examples: I woke up today. I have food to eat. I have someone who cares about me. I learned something new. I survived another hard day. I am trying my best. Small gratitude builds a strong mind. Why small gratitude matters. Your brain becomes trained to notice the good. And when your brain sees the good, negative thoughts lose their power. Gratitude is the antidote to negativity. It resets your mind. The transformation begins when you practice the rules together. You now understand all 8 rules. Control your inner voice, break the loop of negative thinking, protect your energy, build mental strength with micro-actions, turn fear into focus. Focus on what you can control. Visualize the future you want. Practice gratitude to rewire your mind. Each rule is powerful alone, but together they create a mind that is calmer, clearer, stronger, more confident, more positive, more resilient, more focused, more alive. These rules help you break free from old patterns. They help you destroy negative thinking. They help you design a new version of yourself, a version shaped by intention, not fear. Transformation is not a lightning moment. It is a gentle, steady shift, day by day, thought by thought, choice by choice. You are rewriting your story. You are reprogramming your mind. You are building a future that reflects your true strength. And the most important part? You are doing it one step at a time. And that is enough.
Part 3. The mind you build becomes the life you live. Your mind is the engine behind every choice, every step, and every dream you chase. When your mind is filled with fear, your world shrinks. When your mind is filled with doubt, your courage fades. When your mind is filled with negativity, your life becomes a mirror of that negativity. But when you reprogram your mind, when you rebuild it with clarity, strength, and belief, everything around you begins to shift. This final part is about maintaining your transformation, growing deeper roots, and living with a renewed sense of power. Think of Part 3 as the guide to turning your new mindset into a permanent part of your identity. Because real transformation is not temporary, it is a lifestyle. The power of identity. Becoming the person you want to be. Your identity is the story you tell yourself about who you are. If your story is, I overthink, I always mess up, I'm not good enough, I'm unlucky, I can't change, then your life will follow that story. Identity is like the software of your brain. If the software is old, full of fear, full of doubt, your system keeps crashing. Nothing works the way it should. Every goal becomes harder. Every challenge becomes heavier. But when you rewrite the story, your entire life updates. When your identity becomes, I am someone who grows, I am someone who tries, I am someone who learns, I am someone who stays strong, I am someone who does not quit, then your mind becomes stronger every day. Identity is not built in a moment. It is built through small choices repeated again and again. Identity grows from habits. You do not become confident by hoping for confidence. You become confident by doing confident actions. You do not become disciplined by reading about discipline. You become disciplined by practicing discipline. Your identity comes from what you repeat. Every time you follow one of the 8 rules, you build a new thought pattern, you reinforce a new identity, you train your brain to work in your favor. Slowly, the identity forms. It becomes stable. It becomes natural. It becomes who you are. And when identity changes, life changes with it. How to avoid falling back into old patterns. No matter how strong you become, old negative habits may try to return. This is normal. The brain loves familiarity. It loves comfort, and old patterns feel comfortable even when they are unhealthy. But you can stop yourself from returning to the old version of your mind. Here's how. 1. Recognize early warning signs. Before negative thinking fully returns, it sends signals. You start worrying about small things. You feel easily overwhelmed. You feel more tired or stressed. You compare yourself to others more often. You feel stuck or confused. You lose focus. You doubt yourself again. These are not failures. They are reminders. They are signs your mind needs care the same way your body needs rest. When you see these signs, you simply return to the rules. You do not judge yourself. You do not panic. You do not quit. You just apply the system. Your mind knows the path already. You practiced it. 2. Use the reset moment. The reset moment is one of the simplest but most powerful tools for mental clarity. Here's how it works. When you catch yourself falling back, say, "Stop. Reset." Then, take one deep breath, place your feet firmly on the ground, feel your body, feel the present moment. Let your mind come back home. This breaks the emotional noise. This stops the spiral. This gives you control again. Just 2 words. Stop. Reset. Simple, but life-changing. 3. Keep a mind growth journal. This is not a diary. This is a tool to strengthen your brain. In your journal, write what negative thought appeared today, how you handled it, which rule you used, what you learned from it, and one positive action you took. This turns challenges into lessons. It turns mistakes into progress. It turns fear into clarity. Your journal becomes proof that you are growing. Even when you feel weak, the journal reminds you how far you've come. 4. Keep consistency, not perfection. Perfection is the enemy of growth. You do not need to practice every rule every day. You do not need to be positive all the time. You do not need to always feel strong. You only need consistency. If you get off track, return. If you fall, stand up. If you lose energy, recover. If you make mistakes, learn. Consistency builds strength. Perfection builds pressure. Your mind needs consistency, not pressure. The new mindset, thinking like a strong person. Once you reprogram your mind, something amazing happens. You stop reacting to life. You start responding to it. Reactions come from fear. Responses come from wisdom. Reactions come from panic. Responses come from clarity. Reactions come from old habits. Responses come from your new identity. Here's how a strong mind thinks. 1. This moment is hard, but I can handle it. This simple thought removes fear. It gives you your power back. Hard moments become training, not punishment. 2. I can't control everything, but I can control my next move. This ends overthinking. This brings your mind into the present. This gives you direction. 3. I choose to focus on progress, not perfection. This builds long-term growth. This builds discipline. This builds self-trust. 4. I can learn from this. Every mistake becomes a lesson. Every challenge becomes experience.
Every failure becomes a stepping stone. 5. My thoughts do not control me, I control them. This is the core of mental freedom. This is how you break negative patterns permanently. When your mind begins to think like this, you become unstoppable. The role of self-compassion in a strong mind. Most people think strength means being hard on yourself. But true strength comes from balance, not pressure. You need self-compassion. Self-compassion is not being soft. It is not weakness. It is not an excuse. It is not laziness. Self-compassion means I talk to myself the way I would talk to someone I love. It means giving yourself space, patience, understanding, forgiveness, support. People grow when they feel safe with themselves, not when they shame themselves. Think of it like this. A plant grows in sunlight, not under fire. A child learns best with encouragement, not yelling. Your mind works the same way. Be patient with yourself. You are reprogramming years of old wiring. Growth takes time, and that is okay.
Turning setbacks into fuel. Setbacks are not signs that you are weak. Setbacks are signs that you are trying. They are bridges on the path. They are lessons that build wisdom. Every person who grows faces setbacks. Every person who heals relapses sometimes. Every person who becomes stronger goes through weak moments. The difference is simple. Weak people quit when they fail. Strong people learn when they fail. Here is how to turn setbacks into fuel. 1. Ask, what is this teaching me? Every setback has a message. Every challenge has a lesson. Every mistake shows you what to improve. 2. Ask, how can I adjust my approach? Maybe you need a new routine. Maybe you need more rest. Maybe you need a better boundary. Maybe you need a simpler strategy. Adjust, learn, adapt, grow. 3. Ask, what small step can I take next? The next step is always what matters, not the past, not the mistake, not the fear. Your power is always in the next step. Creating a life that supports your mind. You cannot reprogram your mind and keep living the same life. Your habits must change. Your environment must evolve. Your routines must align with your new identity. Here is how you create a life that supports your transformation. 1. Build routines that create mental clarity. Morning routine, evening routine. Simple, calm, clear routines. You don't need perfection. You just need structure. Examples, drink water when you wake up. Stretch for 2 minutes. Write a positive thought. Plan your 3 priorities. End the day with gratitude. These routines anchor your mind. They create stability. They reduce stress. 2. Fill your environment with growth. Your room should not feel like chaos. It should feel like a place where your mind can breathe. Your digital space should not feel overwhelming. Clean your apps. Organize your files. Remove negative content. Your social circle should not drain you. Choose people who energize you. Choose people who respect your peace. Choose people who believe in growth. 3.
Keep your goals simple and clear. A complicated life leads to a chaotic mind. A simple life leads to a powerful mind. Break your goals into small steps. Plan weekly, not yearly. Focus on progress, not pressure. Clarity is strength. Simplicity is stability. The final mindset shift. You are the writer of your story. Most people live life like passengers. They sit inside their minds and let old thoughts drive. They let fear hold the steering wheel. They let doubt choose the road. They let negativity decide the direction. But you are the driver. You are the writer. You are the creator of the story. The past does not write your story. Fear does not write your story. Other people do not write your story. You write it, one thought at a time, one choice at a time, one brave step at a time. Your mind is not your enemy. It is your partner. It is the tool you use to build your future. And you have already started the transformation.
Your new chapter begins now. You have walked through all 8 rules. You have learned how to break negative patterns. You have learned how to reshape your thoughts. You have learned how to build strength, clarity, and focus. The question now is simple. What will you do with this new power? Will you continue the journey? Will you practice the rules? Will you choose the stronger path? Will you design the life you want? You already know the answer. Because the fact that you are reading this means one thing. You are ready. Ready to grow. Ready to think differently. Ready to step into the stronger version of yourself. Ready to rise. Your mind has been your battlefield, but now it becomes your greatest weapon, your greatest protector, your greatest ally. This is not the end of the story. This is the beginning. You are reprogramming your mind. You are destroying the old limitations. You are building a future full of clarity, strength, and purpose. And from this moment forward, repeat this to yourself. I choose my thoughts. I choose my focus. I choose my direction. I choose my life. The new you has already begun.
If this message hit you, then don't just watch and leave. Like this video, share it to someone who needs this wake-up, and subscribe to this channel. Study yourself 1 hour a day. We are building a different breed here, a new generation of doers, people who don't wait for permission, people who build themselves daily, people who compound quietly and become untouchable over time. Hit subscribe, join the movement. 1 hour a day, every day. And in 1 year, your future self will not recognize you anymore. Let's grow. Let's execute. Let's dominate our own potential. Subscribe now and start becoming the person nobody can compete with.